don't worry, I'm not going to be discussing David Sullivan's love life here. I don't know. It's got nothing to do with me, quite frankly. What happens between a man and a woman in his own private mansion is his own private business. Or shed, for that. It doesn't have to be a mansion, shed. Not that there's any supermodels or reality TV stars in my shed. Connor's up the back there. Nothing's going on, really. He barely moves, quite frankly. Anyway, we're going to be doing a little news roundup from One Football. There's no big juicy stories, I'm not going to lie to you, but I don't mind that. I don't mind at all, because it's all about the games now, right? We just had a game against Southampton, and then we've got our inaugural European adventure tour thingamajiggy coming up on Thursday, which is really where the focus should be, and I'm really pleased about that, actually. So I'm glad there's no whoppers, although there's this massive story just trying to derail Declan Rice. It's just going to always happen until one or two things happens. Either he leaves, or a billionaire, trillionaire takes over West Ham, and we start signing all the best players in the world, and then Declan Rice decides to stay. Neither of those things are going to happen. So, I mean, well, actually, one of them is Declan Rice is going to leave. Until he does, we're just going to have to deal with these stories all the time. The only thing I would say on that, I'll say plenty on it, but the only thing I would say today on that Declan Rice saga is we now have Manchester City entering into the narrative, which is really important, because for too long we had Chelsea, then we had Man United, there was some whispers of Liverpool, and now Man City are. And this is really important, actually, because what we don't want is a one-horse race. If we're going to want to get full value for the player, then I do feel it's vitally important that it starts a bidding war. The latest one is that Fernandinho it's been confirmed, as I understand it, that this is his last season at Manchester City. So they're going to be looking at a replacement. And who better as your defensive holding midfielder than England and West Ham star Declan Rice? Sounds like I'm trying to sell him there. I'm not. But anyway, so that's the thing. Man City are interested. But the angle that I took by looking at it, I think, okay, maybe a bidding war is the way to go here. I don't know, because you only got to look at that Ronaldo transfer, actually, which looked like he was going to City. Man United came in. I don't think it was quite a bidding war. I think there was a slightly different element to that, which is probably Ronaldo knew he possibly didn't want to go to City. Sorry, let me rephrase that. He probably did want to go to City, but he was probably fundamentally aware of his relationship with Manchester United fans, so would rather Man United have come in with a bid. Possibly the City bid flushed Man United out. So he ended up going to Man United, which would have been his preferred choice. I'm sort of hoping that when it does get going, the Declan Rice saga, it's that all the clubs flush each other out. We get a big signing fee. Be very, very nice for us. A big transfer fee. I don't know why I said signing fee. Okay, so anyway, let's go through the stories on the One Football app. As always, the One Football app is downloadable in the link below. I did have to laugh because when I was doing the build-up show, I actually forgot. I was looking for the lineups, and I spend almost every day telling you, download the One Football app. It's downloaded, it's on my phone. I couldn't find the lineups. So, hold on, where do I find the lineups? And I actually did look on the One Football app in the end, live on the show, and that's where I found them, because they weren't on Twitter, they weren't anywhere else, but they were on the One Football app. There we go. What you do is One Football app, download it to your phone. It's free. Get all your West Ham news all in one place. Click the link below. Right, so what's on there today? Okay, I've not actually read all of the stories on it yet. I'll tell you why, because one of them's relatively new. When I looked at the news this morning, this story wasn't on there. So I'm reading this with naked eyes. Actually, not naked eyes, I've got glasses on. It says West Ham co-owners unhappy with Cotti. West Ham, this is from, they've poached this from the Daily Mail. Apparently, yeah, Gold and Sullivan are unhappy with Tony Cotti's involvement with Pi Capital. They're unhappy with Rio and Anton Ferdinand as well. I guess they're just unhappy with anybody associated with it at all. It doesn't go into huge amounts of detail, but I think what is interesting with this one is I do believe that Cotti was, I might have this wrong. If I'd have known this at the time, I would have asked him when I spoke to him. But I do believe that he was in line to do some work for the club. Now, I don't know whether that was as an ambassadorial role. I don't know whether that was to do with the corporate hospitality, the meet and greet. I'd even heard a whisper that he might have been involved in the West Ham channel. You know, West Ham have got their own television channel and they got YouTube channel and so on and so forth. Where they put all that stuff together, I'd heard I'd heard Gotti was going to be part of the team. That's so that's really, really interesting. My point is, surely there would have been some sort of relationship between him and the owners. So I guess they're disappointed now with that he has aligned himself to a group who are looking to take over. Look, they've been massively in the news for a load of negative reasons. I'm talking about Pi Capital, not the owners in this instance. Just over the last week or two, which I'm not going to go into now because it seems so murky and legal that I just don't want to talk about it, quite frankly. So I think I'll leave that to play out and run its course. All I would say is I don't think the second bid has been, as far as I know, there's been no second bidders yet. So I guess we're waiting to hear on what happens there. Pablo Fornals was a little bit worried, as I understand it, by our performance. It depends which paper you read, actually. But what Fornals said, and he's talking about the performance against Southampton, he said, we've been 2 weeks without each other. And he means the players going on to international duty. So we just trained together for 2 days. He told West Ham United TV, so he's talking to West Ham United TV. So we're a great team, we have really good players, and of course we're going to be selected for our countries. We have to understand that and try and keep the same moves when we return. Well, this is pretty much what I said in the video. When was it? Yesterday. The players are going to have to adapt. If what we're going to be is this club that are a top half club, and sometimes we're going to qualify for Europe, and we're going to have, because we're at the top of the Premier League or mixing it with some of the better teams, the international managers are going to have their eyes on our players and they're going to get selected to play international football. We've got to cope with it better. We've got to deal with that, and that's really, really important. So I think that's just more or less what Fornals is saying. There's another article saying that Dawson is now going to be axed from the starting 11. I mean, there's no big surprise there, is there? Let's be perfectly honest. None at all. But I don't think it's not a case of that's it, Dawson's gone for good. No, I mean, he'll feature plenty this season, but it is probably time for, definitely time for Zuma to step in. West Ham dropped a major blunder not signing Odsonne Edouard. Okay, I mean, with hindsight, yeah, I mean, it looks that way, but here's the point. Here's the point in this. He's going to cost 18 million. I think he costs 15 million, 18 in add-ons, 70 grand a week, apparently, this player. If Moyes only had 55 million, then I guess it's really which one of the players would we have missed out on? I think that's, I guess, 15. What's Krause? See, Krause on loan. We didn't pay a fee for him. Obviously, can't even really include him. So it's Zuma and Vlasic. Which one would we lose out on? You couldn't have all of them. That was just our budget. So did he drop a blunder? I guess we'll have to wait and see. If Edouard turns out to be a fantastic player for Crystal Palace, and one of our two, either Zuma or Vlasic, turns out not to be, then maybe something. What is interesting, we're being linked with, and I don't wish to be discourteous here, but we're being linked with somebody from Millwall called Jed Wallace. He seems to be a journeyman. Look, he's out of contract. He might be okay. And I don't know. Look, I'm going to say this now before I've even seen him play. But is this not a Jordan Hugill type player? What I mean is, in terms of style of player ability, I couldn't say. I've not watched the guy. He could be good, bad, or indifferent for all I know. But 27 now, by 28 when his contract expires, this guy I can't imagine even being the second choice forward if Antonio gets injured. Imagine he was with us now. Antonio's banned for a game. When we play against Man United, if we had Jed Wallace, would Jed Wallace start? He wouldn't. He really wouldn't. It would be Bowen that started up front probably. If not, it'd be Vlasic. It'd be somebody. And when I say about Jordan Hugill, it's more a point of Jordan Hugill used to sit on that bench. You knew he wasn't going to be used at all. Also, if we're looking at him in next year, okay, maybe for a bit of squad padding if we're in Europe again, but we might not be. So I'm not I'm not entirely sure. I would hope that we don't do this sort of thing. I would hope the next time that we have some money to spend, which should hopefully be next season, that we actually go and spend that money on a forward. That would be my next choice. Next summer, centre forward, all the money on the centre forward. Right, look, let's leave Declan Rice to one side for a moment. Imagine we've got there's money to spend from there, but forget about that for a second. I'd do a similar deal that we've done with Crowell for a left back. I'll spend the money on centre forward. I just don't think there's any need for a journeyman striker from the lower leagues. But no, look, he might be very good. No disrespect to him. I just don't think he would get to play. We're just not looking at that sort of thing now. That's not to say that we don't look at players from the Championship. The lad at Fulham, whose name escapes me, the winger, that's great. But this is a young player who's going to get better, who has time to grow. I don't think we need to go and get journeyman from the lower leagues. I don't think that's a wise thing. I don't think there's any truth in it whatsoever. Anyway, there you go. Little roundup today. We'll be back. Look, we'll be back tomorrow, really, I guess, building up. Tomorrow's Tuesday. We'll be building up to the game on Thursday with a preview over on the main channel. We'll be... You'll get to hear myself and Gio's vast and significant knowledge of European football, which should be really, really, really terrible. But tune in anyway. It might be a laugh. You never know.